guys, what's going on? This is Travis P11. I'd like to welcome you back to the channel. Well guys, today we're going to bring you a quick tabletop review of the Smith Wesson Bodyguard chambered in 380 ACP. Now this review would not be possible without the help of SS Pawn in Lexington, Nebraska. Stan, the owner, does loan me firearms from his private collection, and I'm able to bring them to you in tabletop reviews and cleaning videos and range tests, etc. So go ahead and give SS Pawn a call in Lexington, Nebraska, and they will take care of all of your firearms needs. Alright, now what we have here, guys, is a little bit different than the standard Bodyguard 380. This model's available with the laser and without the laser. It is a 6+1 capacity. Vital statistics, what do you need to know? Well, we've got a barrel length of 2.75 inches, an overall length of 5.25 inches, a weight of 12.5 ounces, a capacity of 6+1. It does come with 2 magazines. As for material, you're looking at a polymer frame or lower, and your slide is made out of stainless steel. It does have a matte black finish, but it is the melanite finish, which is an excellent finish if you've ever had any experience with any Smith & Wesson firearms. So let's go ahead and check the firearm and make sure that it is in fact clear. Okay, chamber is empty, magazine's empty, we're good to go. Man, where do I start about this pistol? Well, first of all, if you look in the lower left-hand corner, you can see how my accuracy was with this pistol. I did do a regular range test on it. I put nearly 100 rounds through it in the time that I had out at the range. It was kind of funny because when I first started shooting it, I was not very accurate with it. In fact, I didn't really like shooting the pistol. I didn't like the pistol initially, and it just had to do with the fact that I was not used to the trigger, which is funny because you would think myself being somebody that carried a Sky CPX2 for 3 years, I could handle just about every trigger. A few more features about the gun, and then we'll kind of get into the shooting experience. You do have dovetailed sights in the front and the rear. There are no markings or dots on them. Not that you couldn't get yourself a set of aftermarket units, but that's what it comes with. You do not have front serrations, so there's really no way to do press checks. You do have serrations on the rear. They're, I guess you could say, semi-aggressive. They do grip. If you squeeze them tight enough, it is possible to top charge the firearm to chamber the first round if you want to. It is a double action pull, which does actually cock the hammer as you pull the trigger. What else do we need to know? We do have a mechanical safety. Takedown and cleaning is pretty simple. You're looking at a retail price of about $449, and I can give you an out-the-door price here in just a minute. Like I said, you do get the 2 magazines with it. It does fit my hand really well. I didn't think that the recoil was anything that was really uncomfortable. Like I said, I did nearly 100 rounds. I would have fired more, but the weather was just not cooperating. It was freezing out there, and again, I wasn't quite getting the results I was looking for initially, but I decided to stick it out and just to see what I can do. So I've got some very handy advice for you if you happen to buy this pistol, whether you get it with the laser or you get it without. First of all, out the door price, for me locally, we're looking at $383 before a $15 fee and before sales tax of $26. So out the door, you should be averaging around $425 if you order this from galleryofguns.com, which is what I would recommend. So anyway, firing it, what do you need to know? When you first start practicing with this pistol, if you decide to purchase it, the mistake I was making was I was aiming and I was just doing a full trigger pull. And the problem I was having is my hand was moving towards the end of the trigger cycle, and it was causing my shots to be off tremendously. But when I did my second range test and I decided to slow down the trigger pull, stage the hammer, and then just finish the cycle, I had much better results. Now, if you start like that with a pistol like this that has a very deliberate heavy trigger pull and work your way up into faster shooting, you can be very accurate with this trigger. By the time I was almost at the end of my boxes of ammo, I was really enjoying this pistol. I was actually having fun with it. I was at a point where it was becoming more predictable, and I felt like I actually had a good control over it. Now, as for the actual grip itself, it is a little bit slick. I wouldn't say this is overly aggressive with the texturing. You know, you can still get a pretty good grip on it. It is a small enough gun. I've got, I would say, medium-sized hands that I do rest comfortably on it. You do have kind of a small beaver tail on the rear here, which will protect your palm, the webbing of your palm, as the handgun cycles. Did not run into any issues with that at all. It is not ambidextrous with the magazine release, nor the slide stop or slide release, whatever you'd like to call it. So you're pretty much going to have to train with it. If you're a lefty, you're going to have to train with it and learn how to use the ergonomics. You do have the mechanical safety, like I said before. Now, they do make the model without the laser. Can't exactly tell you what that price is. When I shot the gun, I actually trained with it and tested it exclusively without the laser. And there were a couple of reasons. One, I was limited to about 100 rounds of ammo. And two, it was just freezing at the range and I still wanted to get some time in with it. And three, if I was to draw this and fire, who's to say that I'm going to have time to actually stop, press the button, because it doesn't turn on automatically when you draw it and make the shots. So I would like to still test it with the laser at some point. If you get it with the laser, make sure that you do practice with the iron sights and you do practice with the laser. Give definitely a good amount of time to each one. Don't rely on just one or the other, because you might only train with the laser. You push the button and that laser doesn't come on. You've got a few seconds to decide what you need to do to defend your life. You're then going to have to rely on the iron sights. And so, like I said, with training, with practice, little pistols like this are definitely very doable as concealed carry pieces or as backups. It is very, very lightweight. There's a ton of holsters out there for you, a lot of options, whether you want to go inside the waistband or small outside the waistband holders, or maybe an ankle carry. Would I recommend this? Yeah, I think so, but just understand what you're getting yourself into. You're looking at a very heavy trigger pull, and unlike the Sky CPX2, which has a heavy pull all the way through, a long heavy pull all the way through, this one has a lot of tension initially, and then it just gives, and it falls to the back where it hits another wall, and then it breaks. It's almost like a kind of a funky almost three-stage trigger. It's really weird. There's tension, and then it gives, and then it breaks. So it's something that you want to practice with. It's not like a Glock trigger where it's light, it hits a wall, and then it breaks. It's not like my SD9 VE, which is tense all the way through and then it fires. It's something you want to practice with. And I'm just going to say, if you're going to drop nearly $400 or $400+ on a pistol, you want to make sure that you can comfortably shoot it. If you can rent it, or you know somebody that has one before you purchase it, definitely go that route before you decide to close the deal and take it home with you. But again, it is a very cool pistol. Recoil was very manageable. Let's see if there's any other features. Texture on the front and the rear. You do have a finger groove right here, and I'm able to get 3 fingers on the gun, not counting the thumb, which I can wrap around, and then my little pinky, the gun just rests, and then I just simply tuck it comfortably. So both hands on the gun, very comfortable. I did some single hand shots, and it really wasn't that bad. As you get used to the sights, it is easier to shoot, and it does become more manageable, and you do get better with it. It's got a nice large extractor. Overall fit and finish build quality, I think it's going to last you a long time. I'm not sure about reliability on these lasers. Anytime you put electronics inside of a firearm, you know, it's always a matter of time before those things give out. I mean, they could last forever, but you never know. But overall, you know, it's a great pistol. I think it's 0.9 of an inch thick, if I'm not mistaken. It's very, very narrow. Might even be a little bit less than that. But I mean, the weight is just virtually nothing. Very, very comfortable gun. So anyway, I really enjoyed it. I had a blast with it at the range. Like I said, I didn't train with it with a laser. I didn't want to really spend the ammo trying to get the laser dialed in, when I really wanted to get used to just shooting it with the iron sights, because that would be a more realistic situation for somebody that has to draw and fire. Which is the intention of a firearm like this. I did take it out to 20 feet, and I think I had a fairly decent group, as you saw earlier in the range test, so it's not bad. So Smith & Wesson Bodyguard 380, I'm not going to chat much more about it. I would just say that it is a neat little gun. It did come with a little zipper case, which is pretty cool. Let's show this to you real quick here. You're able to put the pistol in there and the spare magazine, and the pistol obviously with the magazine in it. You could have kind of a discreet carry. Say you want to take it in with you to some sort of a meeting you need to go to, or you want to go do some work in your local coffee shop and you don't want to draw a lot of attention. Now don't get me wrong, you should be carrying it on you. But in terms of transportation, in terms of mobility, just moving the gun around, the soft case is a nice option that you don't really get with a lot of other guns. So just keep that in mind. So for every pro, there's a con when it comes to these little pocket pistols and any handgun in general. So there you go, guys. That's it. That is my take on the Smith & Wesson Bodyguard 380 ACP. Sorry to be so chatty, but I didn't want to take up all your time. I wasn't going to go on nothing fancy on this one. Nothing wrong with nothing fancy, but I can do it a little bit quicker. Anyway, guys, that's it. So if you like what you see, please like or subscribe. You can check me out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I'm also over on gunchannels.com with the Ordinary Average Guy Gun Channel. And I've got a Saturday morning podcast called The Caliber Corner, which is 8 a.m. Central Time. So I'll put some links in this video, and you can definitely check out the playlist for that. So there you go, guys. Smith & Wesson Bodyguard 380. I give it 2 thumbs up. I do recommend it, but do go into it with the understanding that you will need to practice with it. And you should, as this could be a last resort backup, as this could be the only concealed carry piece that you carry. So definitely give it a good 100 rounds, 150 rounds the first time that you go out there. 380 ammunition is not cheap, but it is worth it. It's worth your time and money to practice. So there you go, guys. That is my advice for you. So anyway, guys, I want you to have fun. I want you to be safe. Have a wonderful week. And as you know, we will talk to you soon. All right, goodbye.